All right, now let's move on to our LFO. LFO stands for low frequency oscillator. It's only meant to generate frequencies below the human hearing range, which is essentially below 20 hertz. This one goes from 0.01 hertz all the way up to 100 hertz, and we know that by looking at our inspector up here as I change the value. So what the low frequency oscillator is going to do is it's going to modulate any parameter I want, and it will modulate it based on the speed of this waveform, which is a sine wave, and then the volume of the waveform. So let's do that with our cutoff filter right here. First, I have to make sure that my filter is on. Right now it's not on. If I turn it on in my routing area, listen what happens when I adjust the cutoff with my mouse. I can have my LFO automatically modulate the cutoff by assigning my LFO to the cutoff. So right click on your whatever parameter you want. This works for literally any knob you see in SynthMaster. Right click, add modulation, LFO, LFO number 1. Now this pink area right here is the depth of the modulation. I can adjust that with this over here. I can also adjust that with the volume, but that will adjust within the pink parameter area. And I'll show you what that means. So let me make this bigger so we can really see. Notice how this LFO is modulating the cutoff based on the rate or the speed and then the wave shape. So if I want it to not modulate as far, I can turn my volume down right here. It doesn't go as far, all the way up. Change the speed. I can even change the wave shape. Notice how, because I'm using a square wave where it's on, off, essentially, it's just maximum value, minimum value, so it's never going to be in the in-between areas. So you clearly can use different shapes in your LFO for different purposes. You can also go into bipolar mode. Which means it'll modulate to the left and right of the center point compared to unipolar, where it's modulating just on the right side or just on the left side of whatever parameter you've assigned. I can adjust this to the negatives. Now it'll go on the left side of the cutoff filter. Finally, there's a couple other parameters in here that you can adjust. For example, the phase. You can add noise to add some random analog feeling to it. You can delay how long it takes for this to turn on. See how it took a long time for that to turn on? You can also adjust the tack so the effect slowly comes in. Turn our delay down. See there, it took a long time for the LFO to fully affect our cutoff filter. The release is how long it's going to take for this effect to turn off after I release the note. I can also adjust other little things like quantizing it, giving it a lower bit depth. Okay.